I put itching powder in my roommate's fleshlight. Roommate was addicted to his fleshlight and would put it in the dishwasher. I tried to talk to him about it many times. Nothing worked. Took matters into my own hands and it gave him an infection. He had to get circumcised and thinks it's because of the dishwasher soap or salt. I regret doing this. Let me address some of the major points and questions here. We lived in a small flat with one bedroom. I never used the dishwasher. He turned it inside out when he put it in. In the beginning he would leave it to soak in the bathroom sink. I protested vehemently, and as some have suspected here, I couldn't afford to move. He would leave it on or beside his bed after use. So I had this thing in my sight every time I was in our room. He'd use it while he thought I was sleeping too. He had poor hygiene to begin with. Messy fella. He was coddled at home and his mom cleaned up after him. He'd come in it and just go to sleep without cleaning himself. We shared an internet package which would be depleted before the month ended because of his porn addiction. I tolerated this for about 4 months because my conflict-avoiding ass just couldn't be aggressive enough. Throwing it away would have made things worse for me. As far as he's concerned, it was all his own doing, but the shameless slopping in the middle of the night was unbearable. He even took it with when he went home some weekends. And I'm sure that he didn't wash it until he came back to the flat because he probably wouldn't have been able to hide a cleaning session from his folks. It took about 2 weeks for his dick to get bad enough that he went to the doctor. But even after the itchy first use I noticed he was going to the bathroom a lot. He still used it a couple times, which must have made it much worse. He suspected that I might have used it and given him an STD through it because he wasn't sleeping with anyone. I wasn't either, but he had to ask. He moved out at the end of the semester and I saw him on campus occasionally. Our parents met at church and his mom is a devout Christian. Telling her crossed my mind. But that's a bitch move. She basically administrated all his affairs, which is how she found out. I wasn't there when the handover took place, but I know she threw it away. She made him see a psychologist and he had to go home every weekend. My quality of life was drastically improved. And his too. So I hear. The itching powder was from one of those party stores where you buy outfits and gags etc. and was more like cotton wool than powder, but still called powder. This was a few years ago, and what reminded me of it was seeing his mom in the shop and the shame hit her again when she saw me. Anyways, fuck you Chris.